It's Saturday morning and we're here today at Pecky's to get the tuning done on the new build engine on the Starlet. I spent a lot of time last week making sure I didn't have any oil or water leaks and checked for anything that could have caused any problems today, including the loose bolts or even fuel leaks. Things like this will slow the day down and cause delays, so it was always good to check these things before you start the day. We have tied the car down on the dyno, but before we can start pushing any boost into the engine, it's important to run the engine in. Being a track car, this can't be done on the street, so I'm going to explain exactly what we did. For starters, we need to run the engine at a low RPM under high load for around 20 minutes, and what this does is helps the rings bed in to give a better ring seal to the cylinder wall. While Keelan is doing this, I'm walking around the car and checking for any problems. I keep a close eye on the oil pressure, the water temperature, any noises or anything that could be a problem. Keelan is busy doing his thing, so you can't expect him to keep a close eye on all of those things as well. We have put the car through one heat cycle, let it cool down, then ran it up to operating temperature again under load at the low RPM. Once this is done, we drained the oil and replaced it with a fully synthetic race oil. We definitely don't want to be doing high RPM with the crappy oil in it. Keelan can now tune most of the lower end of the map. We get through this pretty quickly and are now ready to make some power. We are now ready to run the engine on a power run. We started off with the boost controller on 20 psi, and on the first run it pulled 326 horsepower at 8,200 RPM. The tune was still quite rich. Keelan adjusted the tune to suit and we ran it up again. This time though, the clutch let go and we were unable to do any more runs without the clutch not even making an effort to stay clamped together. We first guessed something on the clutch assembly had broken, so we first checked to see if the clutch slave cylinder rod was pushing on the fork and possibly causing less clamping load, but we soon saw that wasn't the case. We decided to get the car off the dyno and take it back to the workshop. We removed the gearbox and the clutch assembly. We assembled it all together on the bench and found there was actually a paper-thin gap between the clutch plate pads and the flywheel. If you shine a torch from the other way, you can see the light underneath the clutch pads. This tells us we had a next to no clamping force on the clutch disc, therefore it slipped. We then assembled the old clutch together to compare our results and it was perfect. There was no gaps at all. It's Monday morning now and the guys from the clutch shop have been very helpful and have sent the clutch away for warranty. We hope to have an answer soon.